Hello and welcome to Banking Frontiers Live. It is once again an interesting CEO conversation that we are into today. And with me is Mr. Sabyasachi Rath, a very interesting and very forward looking entrepreneur who has done a lot of work in the area of financial services market. And today he is the CEO and Executive Director at Carvey Financial Services Limited. Mr. Rath, welcome to Banking Frontiers Live.
Thank you, Mr. Babu. It was a pleasure talking to you and looking forward to a very interactive session. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. How has business, especially in the lending for the SME and MSME sector, been in the last few years? How have you been navigating, and what is the business opportunity you see now moving forward?
Yeah. So, Mr. Babu, if you look at the retail lending, I think the retail lending in India has had a tremendous growth. It had a tremendous run for past few years. So there was a recent report by TransUnion, Sibyl, and Google. So if you look at the report, you'll actually find that there has been almost 18% CAGR growth of retail lending in India. As of December 2020, the retail lending market in India is roughly $600 billion. Yes, it is very true that the retail lending has moved into digital, and more customers are using digital, and equally the lenders and the fintech companies are also using digital to approach their customer or to onboard their customers. There has been also a change of the demographic of the customers. So if you see, the borrowers have become much more tech savvy. So almost 30% of the borrowers are actually below the age of 30 who are using technology for their borrowing decision. Almost 25% of the borrowers are women borrowers who are also using technology. So India is at the cusp of a digital revolution, and many of the lenders are adopting digital in their entire customer life cycle. Now, coming back to the pandemic, yes, during the pandemic, there was, at least in the first wave, there was definitely a very difficult time. All the lenders or the NBFCs have gone through. At the lowest, the collection efficiency dipped to around 30%, but steadily it kept on increasing. And by December, almost every lender in our segment had 85 to 89% of collection efficiency. And in fact, the last quarter was one of the best quarter for the lenders, and the collection efficiency had moved to the pre-pandemic level. In the second wave, again, there was some impact on the collection efficiency, but I will say that the businesses have actually learned it very well. All of us, we have learned doing a business in the new normal. We have learned how to evaluate our business and how to reassess our business. So you'll actually find that many of the businesses, they actually paid us back on time. In fact, if you see, there was a clear distinction between an essential category of business and a non-essential category of business. And the essential category of business actually paid on time, and the collection efficiency was much higher there.
So, how are you bettering the experience for the customers by making things faster, reducing their loan turnaround time, and at the same time ensuring better service?
Yeah, you're right. I think we are into the business of micro enterprises, where we give secure loans, and secure loan between 4 to 10 lakh rupees, where there is a lot of touch point on the customers. Yeah, because many of these customers don't publish financials, neither they have GST returns. So there are a lot of touch points on the customer. But I must say that those touch points are reducing now with the help of digital technology, with the help of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I'll just give you a small example, Mr. Babu. So if you look at 4 5 years back, you'll find that we used to take 2 to 3 days time only to onboard a customer. So when you go to a customer at that point of time, you used to collect their KYC document, do a OSB by the relationship manager, what you call a original, seen and verified, and collect a Xerox copy, and then come back to the office and onboard the customer. That can be done at a click of button now. So this is just a small example. There are plenty of examples, or many examples, where it has been cut down. The time has been cut down for the customer life cycle, in entire life cycle journey. And I must tell you, this also helps us for a cost efficiency.
That was a very good synopsis of how the industry is going digital. What do you see is the good forward and backward integration that you can do to clearly give you that competitive advantage and get more value for your customers?
So you are right, Mr. Babu. It's a very competitive world, and what really matters is that how you serve the customer. And for a finance company, what really matters is how you serve a customer without compromising on quality. So the portfolio quality is the first thing to look at. Now coming back to what kind of forward integration. So let's divide this fintech into two parts. So one is a fintech, which is a purely fintech company. The other is a fintech lending company. So the fintech companies, which are purely fintech companies, are very much part of our business. So the API is what they develop. So they give us a lot of experience, lot of data, lot of enrichment of data, and they help us in our entire digital journey. Now coming back to the fintech lending companies. So if you find the fintech lending company, you will find that again they have their own product expertise and they're a single product company. Whereas we also are a single product company. So when I get into a multi-product, then it becomes very imperative for me to get into a co-lending or a BC arrangement with them, because that is definitely where both the organizations are coming together, their expertise are getting shared. It is much more capital efficient being a BC or a co-lender, and it is also much more easier for a delivery to the customer. In fact, if you look at the regulators, they also have come back with a lot of co-lending circulars and the BC circular, and they're actually encouraging both the banks or NBFC or the NBFCs to NBFC to do a co-lending. I think that is the flavor of the day going.
Excellent. Uh, from the micro SMEs and the micro lending kind of customer base, which you are focusing upon, what is the vision for the next 5 years from now? What do you see? And what is your wish list on how this can better be furthered and made better,
Yeah.
according to you?
I think the micro segment as a segment is a growing segment. I must tell you, and I have a feeling that that segment is going to grow at least by 2 times. And in fact, if you see, Mr. Babu, you'll find that with the new government and having a lot of schemes, most of these micro enterprises, their compliances are increasing. They are paying more and more taxes. Their tax compliance is increasing. Their statutory compliance is increasing. So you'll have enough of data, or you'll have a lot of data on which you can mine the data and go, and the lenders will be a good time for them. They will have enough of data with them to mine this. I'll just give you an example. We actually did a research in between to find out that many of these promoters or the micro enterprise, because most of them are proprietary farms, how much they are present in the social media. You'll actually find that 75% of them, they use some form of social media. So that's a very powerful tool. So that is one part of it. Now the second part is that with the compliances increasing and with the GST and everything increasing, you'll actually find new product. So many of the fintech companies or the new age NBFCs are actually looking at doing a MSME bill discounting or MSME invoice discounting, and they are done on a secure platform, digitally secure platform, without any paperwork, and done at a very fast pace. So we believe that the typical MSME or the micro enterprises which are there will become more and more digital enabled, both from their side and both from the lender side. And it will be a mix where they will get a faster service, better service, and in fact, their compliances also will increase.
Would you like to share any vision for the leaders of tomorrow in this MSME lending sector?
Yeah, I think very clear vision is to give the best of service to the customer, uh, use the best of digital technology available, go to a, I think, benchmark where India is actually perceived as somebody or as a country which is giving the best to their MSME segment. I still feel that there are many MSMEs, in fact, almost 40-45% of MSMEs, which are either underbanked or unserved, or we are dependent on the local money lender. So as we were discussing, Mr. Babu, I think ultimately if I am able to replace these money lenders and give this MSME the rightful need of money what they have at affordable cost, that should be the vision of any lender in a MSME business.
Thank you very much for a wonderful conversation, and we look forward to more such enlightening conversations with you in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Babu. Thank you for having me and wishing you all the best on all your future endeavors.
Thank you very, very much.